To work on Porsche is not just another job. It's Porsche, it's the name, and it's the brand that we're looking towards. So we have the expertise, we have the factory backup, we have the knowledge, and we genuinely care about the cars.
For 2016, the theme is 40 years at the front, which is a celebration of 40 years since the launch of the Porsche 924, which was the first transaxle front-engine Porsche. Each centre is challenged with finding a car that fits the criteria, and then they have to restore it over the period of 12 months.
The current state of the car, which is a Porsche 928 S4, it's seen better days.
The car was registered in January 1987. It's had 11 keepers, looking at the logbook. It's done 95,000 miles, and it's done about 500 miles in the last 3 years.
We decided we'd try and find a 968 Club Sport, that being one of the rarest transaxle cars available. When we bought the car, it was actually mechanically felt pretty good. The bodywork, however, has been neglected. The car is 1993, so I think the paintwork, most of the paintwork's original, so you can't expect it to be pristine.
First thing we're going to do is just literally walk around the car, just look at all the different parts that we might need, things that we might be able to restore the original parts rather than having to replace them with new. Just basically get a bit of a shopping list going of what we need to do and what parts we'll need to do that.
When you're doing something at this scale, you just can't tell. I mean, you can set things down, and as you're taking things off, you know, things might snap, you might come across things that are uncovered. So until we start shipping it quite extensively, that's when the full story will sort of open up. That's when it gets fun.
I found the car through a dear friend of mine whose brother unfortunately was diagnosed with cancer about 12 years ago. Because the news was so bad, he drew up a bucket list of one, and he went out and found himself a Porsche. Got it prepped to take on a track. We were involved in getting the car ready for him, getting the paintwork tidied up so as he could set on his way to Germany. He made it to Germany, did the track day, thoroughly enjoyed it, came back, and unfortunately several months later he passed away. After a lot of hard work, I managed to track the car down, and to my surprise and excitement, it was in a sorry state.
So far we've been getting on really well. We've got all the front suspension, rear suspension ready to fit to the car, and the engine, which I'll be starting to build back up. Yeah, it's going quite smoothly at the moment.
The body of the car has been at Premier Panel Skills, and all the components were completely stripped down. They've all individually been refurbished, replaced, cleaned as necessary. All the components were put back into the car to the point now where the car as a shell is sealed and the engine needs to go back in.
Getting some of the parts has been quite difficult, but we've managed to source all what we need, and we've managed to refurb as much as we possibly can. Obviously we've got a lot of the knowledge and the training specifically from Porsche themselves, and obviously we've got a lot of specialist equipment that normal garages might not be able to get their hands on.
Most people realise that Porsche cars are a very desirable car. The love of the cars, to keep seeing them coming back to life in as good an example as possible, it's just a pleasure to do it. And the guys in the workshops, the guys behind them in the offices, you know, they all take a great pleasure and they all have a great pride in what the vehicles themselves and the work that they produce in these restoration projects.
Back in April 2015, we started the competition, and we challenged all of our Porsche centres in the UK and our recommended repairers to choose a model from the transaxle era, and their job was to return whatever car they chose back absolutely to its original former glory. What you can see here today is just an incredible display of the energy and the enthusiasm and the detail that the Porsche centres and the recommended repairers have gone to really bring those cars completely back to showroom condition and back to life.
It shows what we can do with the old cars. We don't just forget about them. It's not just about what's new, what we've got coming. It's about what we had and what is the heritage of Porsche.
I started at Porsche Centre Bournemouth 30 years ago, so when this car was relatively new, I was working on them, servicing them, maintaining them, so it's great to see one coming back in again.
Appreciate each other's work, and we know how much hard work it is doing one ourselves, so seeing other people doing the same quality is amazing.
We are at the judging stage for this competition today. Lots of people have come and seen the car, give their comments, their views, and we're just waiting now for the final results to come through.
The winner of this year's 2016 restoration competition, without question, goes to Porsche Centre Guildford and Premier Panel Skills for their 968 Club Sport.
We're over the moon. It's been a lot of hard work. The team have worked very hard to achieve this. There's been many man hours put into this vehicle. A lot of love and restoration, so yeah, they'll be overjoyed.
We had a good time doing it. We enjoyed it. We welcome the next one, really.
Looking forward to going to the Nürburgring, where we get to drive the car when the cars are being displayed in Germany.
This is one of the biggest classic motor racing festivals in Europe. It's obviously the home of Porsche. This track is iconic, so really great to be here and celebrating the 40 years of transaxle here at the Nürburgring.
We're going to be able to showcase all our cars to do a parade lap, so it'd be good to get them on the track at the Nürburgring. It's once in a lifetime opportunity.
This car originally was brought here by the previous owner. He passed away 10 years before we restored the car. To bring it back again just finishes the full circle of the story.
It's a fantastic way just to end the restoration competition, having all the guys here at the Nürburgring in Germany. Fantastic celebration of all the passion, enthusiasm and hard work I think everyone's put into these cars. They look fantastic, and seeing them out on the track today in the parade was brilliant.